Day. Excited to bring you guys another show just before the Vols take on Missouri this weekend in Columbia, Missouri, of course. I know that's confusing for some because somehow in one division we have two Columbias that host. Look, it's messed up enough that Missouri's in the Southeastern Conference. To have two Columbias just feels absurd to me.
You know, it's also a weird thing. Having states as your county. So, like, Arkansas has, like, Nevada County.
Oh, do they?
Mississippi County.
Is that a normal thing?
It's not very normal, but Mississippi and Arkansas aren't normal states. So, yeah, both of those have those kind of things. I think there's a Arkansas County, Mississippi, and there's a Mississippi County, Arkansas.
Interesting. I had not heard that. So
there's your geography for today.
Yeah, there we go. That's all the geography I had to learn. Perfect. Nothing else. That we're good. I'm wearing my Lookouts hat because it is opening day for at least the minor league teams in East Tennessee. I guess some of them started yesterday, maybe today. I think Chattanooga's got rained out yesterday, so today's opening day.
Wow,
exciting.
Dude. The Smokies?
Well, so I don't have a Smokies hat. The only hat I have is a Cubs hat that I guess could, also be a Smokies hat. But I thought I have the Chattanooga Lookouts hat. I need to go with the Lookouts hat. That was my thought.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just asking. I'm just asking where your priorities land, Caleb. Are they in Chattanooga, Knoxville? You don't like the sounds?
Oh, hold on. You said Knoxville. That's the issue right now. The Smokies are in
Kodak.
I'm not a Kodak man. That's not who I am. So once they're in Knoxville, you know where the priorities are. I mean, I'm a Cubs guy, so of course I'm a Tennessee Smokies fan. But think about how much my fandom will grow once they're a Knoxville team. It'll certainly be there fully. But yeah, it's minor league opening day, so shout out to all the minor league teams. It's actually they didn't play a season at all last year. Like, they didn't get a single game in. So this is first time in 2 years. Opening day. That's pretty exciting.
That's also kind of like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
When you think about like a minor league player not getting to play for 2 years and, you're trying to make your way up to the majors, that kind of sucks. I did not know that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because, everything got suspended. I mean, MLB didn't even play even close to a full season last year. But it got stopped. Everything got stopped before April 1st. But yeah, so happy opening day to all the minor league teams. I love – so opening day is cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, opening day in and of itself is cool. But my favorite thing about opening day is the videos where they're chalking the lines. Like, those are the greatest –
Big chalk guy.
Oh, big chalk guy. You could get a retweet from me any day of the week if you just show me you – like, that's why I hate turf fields. This is why, I'm glad Tennessee gets to play in any weather, but – whew, just drop that video of them laying the chalk, and I'm there.
Big chalk guy. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like something that you are seeing less and less, but, it's been a part of baseball for so long.
Yeah, turf. F it,
you
man.
get to see who the – if your coach is drunk or not before the game. Like, yeah. How straight is that line?
Exactly. This guy knows. We've got another great episode. We're talking about, man, all the transfers coming to Tennessee. At least one big name. We'll talk about the other one, but I think they're both pretty good gets. Again, I'm a waste it in the right word, but spend all of your transfers on defensive guys at this point. But they did get another offensive guy, so of course we'll talk about it. Talk about the roster and what Tennessee's got moving forward. No problems with the basketball roster as they're up to number 2 in recruiting. Also, Kennedy Chandler is knocking on the door of being the number 1 recruit in Tennessee basketball history. Will it happen before he gets on campus is the only question that's left to be. And then, also, I guess will he live up to the hype once he is on campus?
Yeah, it's a lot of expectation for the kid. But yeah, that's the hope.
It's certainly the hope. Yeah, I feel like too, and we'll get into that. So I'm going to save that for the episode. Guys, obviously talking about baseball, Tony V taking his team to alma mater, Missouri this weekend. Getting it done. Also, did he commit Did Tony Vitello commit to a lifetime contract with Tennessee when he said his good friend Max Scherzer's son committed?
I didn't hear that. When was that?
I'll have to pull it up. He was, I think it was during his when he was meeting with the media. He talked about it, him having
Today?
I think it was yesterday. I'll pull it up.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find it. By the time we get to baseball, I'll have it pulled up.
I listened to it today and did not hear any of that.
I'll see if I can find it. By the time we get to Vol Baseball, I'll have it pulled up for you. So you guys are going to have to hang on. Drop your questions in the chat if you've got them. We want to talk about what you want to talk about. And like Landon said, we're big geography guys. So
Love it.
Tell us where you're listening from.
Absolutely. Also, go check out our sponsors, Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs, and Blue Water Climate Control. Here is a quick word from our great friends at Blue Water Climate Control.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something. And it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
Guys, I'm ready to get in this episode. I know Landon is, so we'll see you guys on the other side as we get this going.
Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Got it by Tennessee, Juwan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Wednesday, May 5th, or as some of you guys know it as Cinco de Mayo. Happy holidays, if you're into that. Don't know if you are, but if you're into that, happy holidays, of course. I am hopefully optimistic about everything Tennessee athletics right now. Am I wrong in that, Landon? Tell me.
I mean, like, everything we're seeing, yes, that is the correct way. But the Tennessee fan also in you is just like, when's something going to go wrong? Because too many things are going right at this point.
That's a good point, too. You got to always expect the unexpected. It seems like Tennessee, the commitment from Juwan Mitchell, which has always kind of been like looming, I guess, like it's been talked about.
It's officially official.
Officially official since at least the spring game. Kind of been looming, which is big. Tennessee baseball obviously rolling in the right direction. What was I about to say?
Direction.
With Tennessee basketball's recruiting class, it like literally gets better every time 247 does their film evaluation or whatever they want to call it. It's just like everything feels good. It's a trap. If you didn't celebrate, May the 4th be with you. It's a trap. Like, I just feel like I'm getting trapped.
I mean, you want all the positivity. Danny White wants it. There it is. Like, it's happening.
Dude, did we talk about the Danny White stuff? I feel like we didn't.
I don't think we did.
Do we want to?
Yeah, sure, we can.
Okay, let's do
That's
it.
a good thing about having your own show is you can talk about whatever you want.
Good point. It's a good point. Dude, I'll say this. I'm not mad about Danny White saying Tennessee fans are negative. Because you know what? Tennessee fans are negative. Now, I'm not saying Tennessee fans don't have a reason to be negative. Because they do. We do. But we're negative. I'm mad that Danny White said Tennessee fans that are negative aren't invested. We're invested. I don't have to give $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 a year to be invested in Tennessee football, dude. I've been there. Like, me and you have been in the stadium for how long? We spent our, like, not every, like, you know, good on him that he gave his $250,000 or whatever he gave to whatever fund they're going to call it now. Big Orange Fund, the whatever fund. I don't have to give that to be invested. I'm a Tennessee fan. I'm more of a, look, this is nothing. This is not a slight against Danny White at all. I'm a bigger Tennessee fan than him.
Ooh, I like that.
I am. You are too.
Yeah.
And everyone listening right now is.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, for me, I try to like put myself in other people's shoes and like coming in, like he's never been at a place with this much exposure, with this much passion. So like he sees negative comments like he's never seen before, and it's because of the place that we're at. He's never been at a program where they've been the lowest of the low.
Right.
And that's what this program is at. So like from his point of view, like, yeah, he's just never experienced it to this level.
So yeah, yes. And again, the only problem I have with what Danny White said, because I've read the transcript from with GoVols Extra several times. I'm like, am I crazy? Am I missing something? And I you know, the only problem I have is he thinks that fans are negative because they're not invested. That's just not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's just not true. Fans are negative because of the, like, what fixes the negativity, Landon? Because I think we can agree on it. What fixes it?
Dubs.
That's it. You go win by it. If Jeremy Pruitt had won handing out McDonald's money bags, no one cares.
No one gives a rat's ass.
We're like, McDonald's is the best fast food on this side of the Mississippi and even on the other side. Like, it doesn't matter. But the fact that he went, 3-7? Now McDonald's sucks. Okay? So, just win. Just win. That's all that matters. And again, I'm not putting it like fire Danny White after that comment. I am not on that train. I'm just saying, I don't need to give more money to stop being negative about UT. I need UT to start winning. That's it, to stop being more negative about UT. That's it.
Yeah. And Danny White, your job is to get us there.
Yeah. And also, too, I understand fundraising is a part of his job. So when he goes into that interview, he's got to spin it as I'm raising. Like, I get that. I understand that. But, dude, selling it to – so – I would guess, I don't know. I'm not familiar with like how athletic directors work. I would guess though that there are far more average fans for a place like Tennessee or anywhere in the SEC than UCF. Like there are far more just like 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck kind of people.
Yeah.
Than UCF. So like UCF, you're only really talking to people who can give, like physically, like everybody wants to give. I guess can give is the right word. So it's like, it's a little kind of, I mean, you got to know there's not 102,000 people out there that can give the university $50,000 and say, hey, I know a lot of people have been like Tennessee fans. They want Tony Vitello an extension and they want the baseball facility to be the focus. Well, they need to put their money where their mouth is. Like, no, the money's on Tennessee's campus. The fans are in the baseball stadium. Danny White needs to turn his focus there. And if he wants to and he needs to turn his fundraising focus there. Because there are plenty of donors and alumni and former players that are associated with the baseball program that could make that baseball facility better. I mean, dude, off the top of that, Todd Helton could just about fund a baseball facility by himself.
Absolutely. Nick Senzel.
Yeah, like, come
Garrett
on.
Crochet. I mean, those guys would, I think some of those, especially Garrett Crochet, a guy that played under Tony Vitello, like if you asked him to write like a little check, he would.
Like, what the hell is he going to do with $1,000 donation from Caleb Mitchell? Like, no. Like, the common fan is not how you build your programs. It's how you sustain it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to attract the common fan to sustain it. If you want to build it, you got to go out and get the former players, the alumni. Like, come on. Like,
yeah,
again,
you're going to make money through ticket sales with fans. You're not.
Right.
They're not writing $1,000 checks. That's just not the way.
Well, that's all we're writing. If you want the 50,000, the 250,000 that Danny White donated, you got to go out and get the big guy. Like, we're writing $1,000 check each year for our tickets. That's it. That's all you're getting from us, bro. Like, sorry.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, you just like, that's the only problem I have with Danny White's comments is you're preaching to you're preaching to the congregation that ain't worth shit. Like, dude, go out and get, like, if you want to fundraise, go out and get the people who can give you funds. Like, you went to a freaking, like, you went to the poorest of poor. And that, like, think about how much money we, like, just me and you, since we've had money, like, we've only had money for what, 8 years?
Yeah, something 20, like
that. And we have given a lot to the Tennessee athletic program. So it's like, come on, dude. Like, you're
like
preaching
that
to the
money in my
wrong
FanDuel
group.
account. If it was in my Tennessee fan account, I mean, that I would be done. There'd be no money left.
Yeah, 8 years is a stretch. Actually, we've only had money for like 3.
Right?
Yeah.
You
were
like real money.
Yeah, you were preaching to the wrong group, dude. And that's my problem. It just sounds so out of touch. Just win. That's all we care about. The people reading the article from Austin Price and Brent Hubbs, the only thing we care about is wins. So go win.
That's all we care about.
And
it's not that hard, right? It's not rocket science.
Hey, how many tickets do you sell if you win, Landon?
You sell out.
All of them.
I mean, look at that. Look at the baseball program right now. They're winning baseball games. Everybody and their brother wants them to open up Lindsey Nelson. If
you announce full capacity,
it would be at full capacity.
Next week, it would be at full capacity.
Speaking of that, I got tickets for all weekend for sale. So if you want them cheaper than you get them online,
Landon's got you. So he's got you there. Let's do it.
Your boy up.
Let's do it. I'm sorry. I needed to vent because I didn't think we had talked about it. A lot of people have been like, man, what did you think about those? And I was like, I get that people are like, there's no problem in this comments because Vol fans are negative. Vol fans are negative as hell, dude. Yes, we are. We just went 3-7.
If you're not negative, something's wrong with you.
Like, yeah, of course we've been.
The people who aren't negative are the ones not invested.
Dude, like that's the thing is like people are like, man, you seem like not as mad about 3-7 as like I would think you are. And I'm like, because I'm not invested as I normally am. I did not step foot in Neyland Stadium. And as much as that sucks last year, you know what it also does? Landon, I didn't almost have a heart attack. And I swear to God, I've gone home at least once every football season thinking, we might need to go to the yard tonight. Like, this chest is tight. Like,
yeah, my hair's not as like gray as it was going to be. Like, I couldn't imagine being in that stadium. Like, looking back on it, like maybe week to week, I was like, man, I wish I was in Neyland. But like, look at now the season's over and you see what the end result was. Like, man, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to go.
I mean, that's my thought. I think that's most Vol fans' thoughts too. It's like, there's like, if I'd gone, I wouldn't have traded it for the world. Like, I went to Bama in 2013. We got the shit beat out of us. I didn't regret it. My dad told me I would. He was wrong. I just don't regret that stuff. We went to, I won't talk about South Carolina in 14. I don't want to. Went to Kentucky in 15. We won shockingly. Josh Dobbs. No, he was too old for that point. But yeah, it's just like it's almost.
We went to Vanderbilt.
We went to Vanderbilt in 18. Whew, regret that. I do regret that.
That was terrible.
I do regret that. I don't regret it. I like to joke. I do. But yeah, it's just like, just win, dude. And the Vol fans, the rest will take care of itself. And I get it. I get the position Danny White's in, but probably shouldn't have done that in a sit down.
I mean, we're still one of the most profitable programs in the country, and we're at the bottom of the SEC. I mean, like from Danny White's perspective, if you look at that, you're like, holy crap, all we got to do is, make a bowl game and we're going to make this much money. I mean, he's got to be like licking his chops.
Just go win 6 games, baby.
It don't take much.
I saw that today too. So let's roll into football. I do want to talk about Juwan Mitchell. I do want to talk about JaVonta Payton. So let's roll into that. So I saw today, like, where's your, and I even asked you, I was like, I am optimistic and I don't like it. I'm optimistic. So I think I'm optimistic because I'm like, dude, at the Vols, like, I think the Vols could just win I think they could just win 4 or 5 games this year, which is like sad. But the optimistic person in me, and we talked about this when Eric Kane was on, I'm like, the Vols could also win 6, 7 with a bowl game, 8 games this year. That's, in my opinion, way too optimistic, but I am optimistic. Is that, like, where are you at in that sense?
I mean, I think you've addressed some needs with the transfer portal. Defensive needs, number one. And, you look at Heupel's track record with quarterbacks. You think you got surely out of one of those scholarship. I mean, you got more scholarship quarterbacks than you do linebackers right now. It's surely to God you can find one that's able to be a serviceable quarterback to at least score some points, win some football games. I'm not asking for a Heisman candidate out of one of those guys. A serviceable quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's, obviously fair. So let me ask you this. So about the optimistic point, what is your floor for Tennessee? Like, if you're like, dude, they had the worst season ever, similar to 2020, like, this is like what they'll do bottom line.
So you have 3 for sure wins, right?
I'll have to look at the schedule again. I would say 4 for sure wins. Is that wrong? I guess I'm counting Vanderbilt in that.
Yeah. That's 4 wins. So you should probably 5, 6 is floor.
That's your floor.
I think 6 games is a floor.
So you're way more optimistic. Okay, so all right. So you think 6? Do you think that's optimistic of you to think 6 games is the floor, or do you think that's like legit the floor?
I mean, I think there's way more talent. Like, we have more talent on this roster than 6 teams on our schedule. 100%.
Okay. Interesting. So you're just like Josh Heupel on there and just coach decent, and you win 6 games. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't entirely disagree with that. I just think it's definitely interesting because I'm like, I think it's optimistic of me to think 6 games. Now you were probably a little bit more optimistic than I am. So it probably makes sense. But so like what? Okay, so 4, 6 ceiling is.
I think floor is 5.
4 is 5.
I think 5 and 6.
Okay.
5 or 6
5 and
is
7
where you should be at.
Okay, so 5 is the floor. Ceiling is.
Is counting a bowl?
Yeah. I mean, you can say like 7 because like I'm with that. I'm like, I think your ceiling
probably,
is. I think your ceiling is probably 7 with 8, possibly with a bowl, depending on who you draw, because you don't know who you're playing.
Probably 8.
Okay, so 7 and a bowl win. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, like I said, that's kind of where I'm at.
Where's your floor?
My floor, I'll pull up the schedule one more time. I think my floor is 4, and I say that like I am very, very optimistic with where Heupel with the kind of coach Heupel is, with the way the game's changing. But at the same time, isn't everyone kind of doing the same thing Tennessee's doing? Like, you're not doing anything unique. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, couldn't everything kind of just be matched by the other? That's my only thing. Like, I think you should have more talent. Like, okay, Bowling Green, Tennessee Tech, and South Alabama. You're guaranteed wins. I would say Vanderbilt should be a guaranteed win. We know with Tennessee's history, that's not necessarily the case. Pitt, I think that's a tough out-of-conference schedule or out-of-conference game. We'll see.
But it's at home, and you should have more talent than Pitt.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Then you have Missouri, who it's kind of the same idea as Heupel, like new offense, like fast offense. And they did trend better than Tennessee last year. South Carolina, kind of same deal. Obviously, Ole Miss, kind of same deal. Kentucky, I have no effing
South
clue.
Carolina is terrible.
Yes. No, I agree. South Carolina's talent is god-awful.
Terrible.
But, like, didn't they kind of do the same thing that Tennessee tried to do and finding a coach that has this new – you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I don't know anything about Shane Beamer.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was on staff with Riley. So it's just like, isn't that the kind of new thing? Like, That's what I'm saying. It's just like we took a chance on Heupel. Yes, he had some head coach experience up from Beamer. I'm just like I think Tennessee was a couple years behind the fold of the new style of football play. Like
they've been that way forever.
You're right, right,
right.
It. Now the good thing is you have Kentucky, who I almost want to count as a guaranteed win. And we talked about this with Eric. Like Kentucky's just not good either.
And they're just Kentucky.
And they're Kentucky. Like even in their best years, they're not as good as Tennessee. So yeah, like it's hard to really for me to say your floor, but I think your floor is 4 wins. I think that's your floor. And again, like the maybe it's the battered Tennessee fan in me. I'm optimistic to say 8. Like that's an optimistic taken, and that's 8 with a bowl game. That's 13 games. I feel like it's optimistic to say 8. But then you look at the schedule. So you obviously have Florida, you have Georgia, you have Alabama. I mean, surely there's another loss in there besides those 3.
I mean, the teams that are like truly better than you on the schedule are Georgia, Alabama, Florida, and maybe Missouri.
I don't think
how they finished the season. Maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But even then, like that it's a winnable game. Now,
yeah,
Florida, Georgia, Alabama, I don't know if those are winnable games. I don't think so.
Right. No, I agree.
God, I'm being too optimistic.
That's the problem.
I'm talking myself into wins, man. This is how it starts.
Is it even technically the offseason yet? No, when you look at the talent, like you're like Missouri, like you said, Missouri's probably better than Tennessee. But like is the talent head and shoulders above better? Like maybe. Well, we'll see. All right, we're getting
at one position. One position makes all the difference. They got a better quarterback than Tennessee.
Look, you're right, and we are going to have to stop talking about football because I've already talked myself into 11 wins in my head, and I don't want to say it out loud. So just steer away from that.
College football playoff, here we come.
Exactly. So let's. I mean, we're going to get optimistic again. I think in this one, let's talk Juwan Mitchell. Juwan Mitchell, it's been rumored for a while. He's officially a Vol. He's headed to Tennessee. It's in my opinion, I don't know if it'll be a direct replacement of Henry To'oTo'o, but you do get an inside linebacker who is also mature, who has Division I Power 5 experience. I think you addressed a great need in just replacing Henry To'oTo'o. We can talk about depth later, but I think you did a good job in replacing him.
Yeah, linebacker, that's all I need to hear to be all in. Just a linebacker. Yeah, I mean, he's a sideline to sideline guy. He's a little bit undersized, 6'1", 230. But, Henry To'oTo'o was undersized. So, yeah, I think you made a good fit, a guy that's got a lot of experience under his belt, led Texas in tackles last season. So, yeah, I think, he had some academic issues that he needed to get fixed. Hopefully those are taken care of by the time he gets on campus. And I think he's going to be a day one starter for Tennessee.
Yeah, almost no doubt in my mind a day one the starter. And I mean, I'm curious too. I think the places which I think our entire linebacking group struggled in was pass defense. So like that's my biggest question. Like a lot of people, I know the one video that Power T tape tweeted out that was like just fucking awesome. Like you were like, yeah, that's it. I want him. We're done. Nothing else. We're not talking about anything else. I want to see a linebacker that's good in pass defense. I think that's the thing that would kind of like elevate the linebacking group to the next level. Do you know of anyone like you're confidently saying like, yeah, they're going to support us in pass, which what do teams do the most of now? Like we just alluded to in the last 15 minutes.
Pass.
Yeah. So I think someone even tweeted it. Can he stop a slant? Yes. Can he stop a slant? That's my biggest question.
He's a linebacker. I'm in. I mean, that's all I mean. But yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue, I think, again, for Tennessee because, probably the guy next to him is going to be Jeremy Banks. And Jeremy Banks is a big linebacker that struggles a lot in the passing game. So hopefully that's, maybe an opportunity for somebody else behind them to come in and play. Roman Harrison has been injured. He didn't play inside linebacker last year, but he's kind of that lean body type where maybe he can be a factor at inside linebacker. I think you got some options. Aaron Willis is supposed to be back from his suspension at some point, so he was a highly touted recruit that can maybe get some run with these Because, I mean, basically you got four.
Count them. I was going to say count them right
four,
now.
like maybe five if you count Sloan Page, realistic options at linebacker.
Right.
Juwan Mitchell, Jeremy Banks, who's been hurt, Roman Harrison, who's been hurt, and Aaron Willis, who's been suspended. So, three of your top guys haven't even been there for spring practice. Four of your top guys, because Juwan Mitchell hasn't been there either. So,
yeah, no, it's and I obviously the focus with this staff is never going to be defense. I think that was kind of a joke between the last staff about, like, when we get guys in, like, when we get athletes in, are they offensive or defensive guys? Like with Jerry Pruitt, they were defensive guys. With Josh Heupel, there's no question what they're going to be. There's no question those guys are offensive guys, running back, quarterback, wide receiver, whatever. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they manage this defense, especially like you said, with guys just kind of showing up, weren't here for spring practice. So, but I mean, they had to sell it to him. He was going to start moment he got on campus, no questions asked. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, obviously he should, I hope, have some leadership qualities that can maybe help this linebacking and this defensive group out.
Yeah, and, one big thing that I just read in his stats, he's had 5 pass deflections in the past 2 seasons. So,
oh God, yes,
maybe he can stop a slant. I'm not saying he can, but the writing's on the wall.
Not saying he can't either.
Exactly.
Not saying he can't. Let's flip to the other side of the ball, because today, actually, before Landon tweeted or sent me the outline. We had to add this one in here a little bit. JaVonta Payton adding some wide receivers to the team.
Yeah, just another weapon for this offense. A guy that out of high school, Butch Jones couldn't land. He actually signed with Ole Miss, went the junior college route at Northwest Mississippi or Northwest Community College in Mississippi. And then Jeremy Pruitt wanted him out of junior college, and he picked Mississippi State.
I did not realize that.
So Josh Heupel brings JaVonta Payton in, third time's the charm, and did something that Butch Jones and Jeremy Pruitt's staffs couldn't do.
I did not realize Jeremy Pruitt also missed out on him. I mean, I don't know what JaVonta Payton's actually going to add. I mean, I guess he brings more experience to the team. Because obviously you lost Josh Palmer. Not that you threw the ball a ton. There's just not a lot of good targets on the field. So I guess you added a guy with some SEC experience, 329 yards receiving, I think, last year, and a touchdown. Mississippi State, which I'll say for me sounds very unimpressive in a Mississippi State offense. But we also have to remember, me and you both, I think, I'll say for me, I won't add Landon into this. I think Mike Leach's offense is severely overrated. So
absolutely. Yeah, I didn't want him at Tennessee, and for those of you that did,
I'm sorry, but he's not good.
Yeah, it's not great. Because, I mean, yeah, we've talked about Josh Heupel and his, the defense is going to be the issue, but, you're scoring points. I mean, we don't want to legit, just not have anybody on the field for defense. That's what Mike Leach wants to do.
No, I don't. That's the problem. I don't even think Mike Leach is like that. Mike Leach is literally just like, hey, we're going to throw it. All you have to do is stop the throw. That's it. At least Josh Heupel is an RPO type guy. Not all is stop the throw.
Right.
We even talked about this when Josh Heupel first came on. Josh Heupel's got to – I am not 100% on Josh Heupel. If he wins games, I'll be 100% on him. Mm-hmm. If he's not, well, you know where I stand. I know it might sound negative to Danny White, but win games, I'll be on board. I'm not – which I think that's like that with any coach. If Nick Saban came to Tennessee, I wouldn't be 100% on Nick Saban until he started winning games in Orange.
Oh, he was just coming to put us in the ground even more.
Oh, yeah. There's no way in hell Nick Saban could win at Tennessee. Dude, let's start that rumor. Let's just put it out there. See if it lands on his desk in Tuscaloosa. There's no way in hell even Nick Saban himself could win games. Let's go. I wouldn't like cheering for Nick Saban. I hate him so much. I wouldn't even like it. Let's go the other way. Bill Belichick couldn't even win games at Tennessee. No chance.
No way.
No way.
He couldn't recruit either.
No, Bill Belichick couldn't recruit to save his life.
Manage a roster?
No, not a chance. He got Cam Newton because he had nowhere else to go. That doesn't. Where they go when there's nowhere else to go in college football?
Somewhere cold.
Last chance, you.
That's true.
Not to the Patriots, which didn't Cam Newton kind of go to last chance U?
Yeah, he did go junior college.
Exactly. So yeah, Bill Belichick couldn't last a day at the University of Tennessee.
No.
He couldn't handle the media pressure. He couldn't handle that either.
And it gets too hot in the summertime.
Yeah,
Can't be wearing sweatshirts.
You can't wear the hoodie. It can't happen. Can't happen.
But yeah, JaVonta Payton, the numbers aren't just like popping off the page. But that first game of the season when they beat LSU, he did have 6 catches for 122 yards.
That's half his yards.
And then the rest of the games he played in, they lost. And they won that game. So I'm just saying, maybe he was the piece that you needed all along.
Maybe so. I'll ride with that. We can go with that.
So
he's a Tennessee guy now. So actually, Mississippi State deleted his profile off their
I saw
website.
That. Hey, it's a 404 error. I like it.
What does that mean? Do you know?
No clue.
Just not here?
Like our system at work, it's a 500 error. Just
okay.
When something's messed up, they just got to put a number beside it.
And you just tell them on the phone, you're like, yeah, it's 500 error. What does that mean? No clue. It's 500 error though.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about it.
Turn it off, turn it back on, see what happens.
Yeah. Well, 10-second reset. We'll see how that works. Yeah, no, I mean, getting on the water, I think I saw somebody tweeted, I would like to credit who it was, said all of our receivers run under a 4.44. So I guess that means one of the Jalen Hyatt, JaVonta Payton, Velus Jones Jr., one of them run a 4.44, and the rest of them got clocked it under that. Listen, I'm not an NFL draft scout, but I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what JaVonta Payton's was. I think he's around a 4.4. Yeah, so I mean, he's a guy with experience, and that's about all you can really say. I mean, he's from Nashville, Tennessee, so maybe just putting on that orange means a little something more to him.
Yeah, what school is he out of?
Hillsboro.
I don't even know where that's at, so cool.
It's in Nashville.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
They're like green and yellow. They're a really good team out of Nashville. They're
you know what A they are?
They were 5A for a long time. That's where
couldn't get past South Oil.
I think Kyle Phillips is from.
Oh, nice.
Kyle Phillips. And who was that? There was another one that committed to Tennessee. He was number 10 for a while, and then he went junior college.
I don't know, but I'll look it up for you. They are like legit in Nashville. Like not even like a suburb. It's in Nashville. Yeah, I don't have a good one for you here, but
yeah, that is where Kyle Phillips is from. Vincent something was his name. Vincent Perry. There you go.
Oh, okay. Where'd he go? I feel like he went somewhere big recently. Did he not?
I don't know. He went junior college, and I don't know.
And then never got out after. Okay, gotcha. I feel like I remember seeing his name recently, but obviously that wasn't the case. All right. Well, let's. Oh, hey, we got a question for you because I can't answer this. This is from Credence Wood. He said, "Can we talk about recruits we could get in 2022?" I assume it means football. So, what do you got for us there?
I mean, I think a lot of guys in state are guys that you are looking at. Guys like Cam Miller, Dallin Hayden would be another one. The kid from South Pittsburgh, his name is escaping me.
It's the defensive lineman, right?
Yes.
I'll see if I can find
I'm trying to think of some more. A lot of those guys have already kind of committed or taken Tennessee out of their top whatever schools. Guys like Walter Nolan, Jordan James already committed to Georgia. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, people like that. Addison Nichols is one that they really like. He's out of state. I think he's got Tennessee ties in there as well. So those are just some names to – Giovanni something is that –
Giovanni Davis.
Davis, yes. Thank you. Yeah, guys like that.
Keep an eye out for.
Cam Miller, Dallin Hayden.
Dallin Hay would obviously be a big get, and he's getting a lot of offers and looks from big schools too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's one you're going to have to fight off probably Notre Dame and Ohio State to really land him. And I think Tennessee, the best thing they can do is what we said at the beginning of this show is win football games.
Isn't it amazing how simple it is? Like a lot of people want to talk about, what Nick Saban's done and creating the environment where, there's 10 first rounders in the last 2 years and all that. But the simple matter of it, he's won football games. Like Clemson's in the same situation. They've won football games. Can they develop talent? Sure. But they're also getting the best talent. Why are they getting the best talent? Because they're winning. Like, it's not rocket science. It's like, and I'm not saying, obviously, what Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney have done to get there obviously is important, but it takes a lot of this. It's like, I mean, Ryan Day took over for Urban Meyer. I mean, they barely missed a beat.
Yeah.
Do you think Ryan Day is as good of a coach as Urban Meyer?
No.
Like, there's no. Is Lincoln Riley as good of a coach at this point in time? Is he as good of a coach as Bob Stoops?
No.
But like, they haven't missed a beat. Why? Because it's just a culture.
Yeah.
And it
just
takes
keep it rolling.
Yeah, and it just like it takes more than just the coach to win games. It takes the recruiting. It takes the athletic department, the athletic director. Like, it just takes a lot more than that. And I mean, Nick Saban flipped how Alabama does things completely. And that's just the way it is. So Tennessee wants to win. If Tennessee wants to win, they've got to make a commitment to winning. It's that simple. Yep.
And Credence Wood also kind of had this question too. Football prospects were most likely to get. I think those guys, you can also add Caden Pope from Hardin County and Caden Curry from Greenwood, Indiana. He's actually a teammate of Tavian Jackson, who Tennessee got recently, that quarterback. I think Eric Kane had a article on him today. So that's some guys to look out for. Jalen Sneed's another one out of Hilton Head, South Carolina, that Tennessee's big on. I think we just made his recent top 5, 6, something like that. Yeah, so they'll just kind of look more in state, but they're also going to hit Georgia, South Carolina, and then obviously they have a tie in Indiana with Taven Jackson, where they're going to kind of see if they can get in Caden Curry as well.
Right. Yeah, no, I think there's definitely some big prospects. And again, like you said, the cure-all is go win games. Obviously missing out on this 2022 class, missing out on Ty Simpson early sucks. But here's the thing, though. Hey, his name is not signed to any paper yet. I don't think – I'm not saying look for him to get – we talked about it, though, when Jeremy Pruitt first left and Josh Heupel first got hired. Obviously that'd be a big get to kind of steamroll this class. So that hurts you in that sense. But go win games and you get some of the names you mentioned, plus maybe potentially flipping some guys too. I'm not going to say any names if you can flip. I'm just going to say flip some guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like Tennessee's – you can't really sell a vision right now because there's just nothing to sell. You can't really build off last year because you're terrible. And then, everything is new this year. So it's – you're having to sell a vision to these kids in this 2022 class, and hopefully by the fall – it's going to start opening up. You can get people on campus. That way you can sell that. I think Mike Eckler had a big part in is it the Juice? Was he on the Juice? Kind of talking about how Tennessee sells and everything like that. Mm-hmm. You just got to get kids on campus and then hopefully win some football games in the fall that can really help, like you said, steamroll this recruiting class.
Yeah, 100%. We got a couple questions about football from J-Dub, so we're going to get to those real quick. Do you disagree that this staff this is arguably the best staff on paper we've had since former staff? I've got to initially just disagree because this staff isn't just incredible. I think there's some. I think Josh Heupel did a good job of getting some guys on the staff that maybe were a little unexpected, but I think there's still a lot of unproven younger guys too. And again, I think the reason I say I initially have to disagree, I have to go back and look. But I think obviously, going and getting guys like Rodney Garner, getting a defensive coordinator like Tim Banks, getting Eckler. Like, I think there's some good names on this staff, but I think at the end of the day, like, they're still a new staff, and they still got to go win games. And then some of them, like Golish, who came from UCF, are still yet to be proven.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jeremy Pruitt's first one, that was the best staff money could really buy.
Right.
Well, it was just
outside of Tyson Elton.
Right. But it was just a whole bunch of pieces that apparently just didn't fit together. At least with Josh Heupel's staff, a lot of those guys are from UCF. A lot of them have worked with each other before.
You hope it fits together too at the end of the day.
Right. You hope that continuity a little bit with this staff. Hopefully it fits. I mean, I don't think you can really say it's – I mean, if they go win football games, I guess it looks better than Jeremy Pruitt's. I mean –
oh, yeah. We can definitely talk about it. We can definitely talk about it after the season. But I mean, I couldn't confidently say it was better than – I mean, honestly, any many previous staffs that have been assembled at Tennessee. I think there's still a lot to prove from this staff. They just haven't done anything. Even on paper, I'm not incredibly impressed, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, you have 3 recruits at this point, and you've got some transfers that the staff has brought in. Everybody else is from Jeremy Pruitt's. Yeah,
I mean that, and even with this, J-Dub has another question. I guess kind of asking that same question about legitimacy of the staff. Do you think the fact UCF just put 2 2-stars and a 3-star and a 4-star into the pros boosts recruiting? I mean, I think at the end of the day, those guys, Tennessee's not vying for those guys. The SEC isn't, like, you're not bidding on I think Tennessee, like, I don't know, like, is a 4-star, is a high 3-star, is a 5-star going to want to play at Tennessee under Josh Heupel, or is he going to want to play under Nick Saban or Dan Mullen or Kirby Smart? Like, I mean, I think that's yet to be determined. Could it help? Maybe. But Dan Mullen and Kirby Smart and Nick Saban, like, they've got a better resume than Josh Heupel. So, no, I just don't think it helps at this point. I think he's got to go win games and put the guys that he's got at Tennessee in the pros as well. Like, Tennessee is gonna get those guys if they want them. Hopefully, they don't want them. If they do, you got to do it with the guys that are here right now, and then the guys that hopefully the 4 and 5 and the high 3-stars that you get here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think you can use it as like a, maybe under the radar guy, like, hey, we can develop you into a really good player, because I mean, that's Tennessee didn't want those guys at UCF, but yet they put more guys in the pros than Tennessee did. And I think that tells a lot to where this program's at, and it's kind of leading us into our next thing is, what is the issues with this roster? And it's, Tennessee got 2 guys that were drafted, only 2.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And probably our 2 best players on the offensive side of the ball, minus Eric Gray. You're having a party over there. It's Cinco de Mayo in the Mitchell household.
Yeah, Brutus got a little wild here. Let's see if we can get this light fixed. I know you guys want to see my beautiful face. So I'll see if I can.
There you go, that luscious beard.
There we go. The beard is looking pretty good. I know. I need to shave the neck up, but Jay, thank you for the question. I agree. Like, Josh Heupel's done a lot of great stuff in UCF in terms of. I just think the SEC, when you flip to the SEC, like, is he doing more than the other guys? And that's who you're recruiting against. Like, you're not recruiting against, Conference USA guys. So or whatever conference. What are they in now? They're not USA. They're AAC, American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, they're.
So I just think it's just yes, like you said, maybe you get some what's the right word?
Under the radar.
Under the radar, like, on the verge guys. But I just think you got to form your own kind of identity at Tennessee. I think that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, to get where, like, you're competing with guys like, with Georgia, Alabama, Florida, for some of those guys, you got to develop the guys on your roster to compete with them on the field. Yeah. And then you can have a chance, maybe getting some of those 4 or 5 stars. But until then, I just don't see Tennessee being a factor for a guy like Walter Nolan, who's the number one player in the country. Yeah, he's out of the state of Tennessee, but he doesn't want to get him to Tennessee. I mean, he didn't even put Tennessee in his top 10. And, his high school coach was a former Tennessee Volunteer.
Right.
And so, I mean, that just tells you where Tennessee's at. Tennessee just doesn't have, that kind of pull right now because the program is where it's at.
Yeah, no, it's definitely kind of, it sucks. And let's flip to the good side of recruiting. Jay, thank you again for the questions. Anybody who's asking, thank you again. Let's talk about the good side of recruiting here, and that Tennessee basketball is up to number 2 in the recruiting rankings. Kennedy Chandler just kind of keeps on climbing. I think it's probably more, so the only guy now that's in front of him is that, this is a great point. Graham Morgan just said on Facebook that Rick Barnes, he took 3 stars and developed them. Now he's getting 4 and 5 stars.
That's exactly right.
But you got to do it. I think the difference is that Josh Heupel hasn't done it at Tennessee yet. Yeah, like there's guys that
he's got to develop guys on his roster to get to the point where he can compete with those guys to land these 4 and 5 star talented.
Exactly. So I think he's got to do it at Tennessee, and then yes, I think it means something. Both credit to Graham and Jay for those questions and comments. Yes. So basketball, that's a great point. Look at what he's done with the lower stars. Now he's got guys who are going to end up one of the highest rated players to ever commit to Tennessee and sign with Tennessee in Kennedy Chandler.
Yeah, and Rick Barnes there's a talent gap between him and some other guys. I mean, he's going to have 2 guys drafted in the first round this upcoming draft. And, Tennessee gets 2 guys drafted in football. That was tied for second to last in the SEC. That talent gap. Kentucky had 6 guys get drafted. And they're terrible. They're not good.
Right.
I mean, we basically gave them that game on a silver platter, but Alabama had 10, Georgia had 9, Florida had 8, LSU had 7. If you want to compete with those guys, you're going to have to develop guys and get some of those UCF type, and not exactly that, but like guys you can develop into really good players and get drafted, because we can talk about recruiting rankings all we want to, but there's a correlation in wins and recruiting rankings most of the time, unless you're Tennessee, of course.
Yeah. And all right, I'm going to look on the positive thing. Let's look at Tennessee.
I'm sorry, Danny White's going to be after me.
He is. He's going to tell you to text your buddy, and let's talk.
There you go.
Yeah, we're just talking. This is 2 buddies chatting. Let's talk a little Tennessee basketball, because I know it's been an exciting day, kind of, even though nothing news really happened. Exciting day surrounding Tennessee basketball.
It's weird that the recruiting we're going up in recruiting rankings. Usually, like recruits go down when they sign with Tennessee, but when you lead your team to a national championship, it's hard for it was hard for 247s to drop Kennedy Chandler at all, so they had to raise him up to number 8 and the number one point guard in the country over Alabama's JD something. What's his name? JD Davidson.
I'll have to look.
Davison. JD Davison. Take that.
Alabama being number 7, those, I mean, pretty impressive. It pisses me off that they got NATO. It's God dang it.
I blame Danny White for that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. How about you text somebody?
Yeah. Also text your freaking brother when he has one of his players freaking knock out John Fulgerson.
Yeah, we'll say Tennessee would. We'll say it.
And didn't he leave? I'm pretty sure that guy's in the transfer portal.
Did he? So he didn't even do it. He didn't even do it for Florida. He did it because he's just a baby back. He was getting beat up, so he just got mad.
Sure.
But what an exciting class for Tennessee. Obviously, you have Kennedy Chandler. You have Brandon Humley Hatfield, who, if he hadn't reclassified, I was like, am I talking about the right person? I mean, how high up would he be?
Yeah, he's probably a top 10 guy, but he moved up. And, so he's ranked 19th right now. And then Jonas Adu.
Adu,
is that right? Okay.
I believe it is Adu. I believe.
I think he was number like 80 something, and now he's up to number 40. And then Jamai Mashak's number 60, and then you have Quentin Debunji, who's probably going to be a project, is ranked 219. So really good class. I mean,
and then also Justin Powell, who's a transfer from Auburn. I thought he was is he a 4-star on someone else? I thought he was a 4-star, but 247 has him as a 3-star.
Yeah, maybe on Rivals he's a 4-star or something like that.
Gotcha. So we'll call him a 4-star. We go with the highest ranking here. We don't hide it. 4-star Justin Powell, transferring from Auburn, shooter.
Shoot.
This is a big class for Tennessee, and I mean, yet to see what Rick Barnes does with them. I mean, he said here's the thing. He said he was going to go out and get a big guy. I thought he meant in the transfer portal because I'm not convinced he's going to play Jonas Adu or Brandon Huntley Hatfield from day one. He hadn't played a single big man freshman since he's been here.
Yeah, that's true. But hopefully he's not. Hopefully he takes this year and you're just like, hey, I should have played those guys a lot sooner.
I mean, hopefully, but until you prove it, I don't believe it.
Yeah, but I do like how he got needs. You need a true point guard, you got that. You needed some size, you got that, and you needed a shooter, and you got that with Justin Powell. So,
you got him on your roster. Will you play him?
That's true. Kenny Chandler's playing. I mean, you can go ahead.
Kenny Chandler's going to play. I mean,
he shouldn't even have to like get a chair on the bench. He should never be on the bench.
He's a 40-minute guy for sure. But yeah, just play him, and I would like to be wrong, Rick Barnes. And you know me, I'm a Rick Barnes guy. But until he plays the big men, I'm not believing that I'm going to see Jonas Adu or Brandon Huntley Hatfield this year. I don't believe it until you play him.
Justin Powell's going to play.
He's a transfer.
He's going to score 30 against Kentucky and probably 30 against Auburn.
Is that because he's not going to score 30? We're going to lose to Auburn by 25.
No.
If he scores 30, we're in trouble. Dude, Bruce Pearl and
Cal?
No, not Cal's on a thorn on our side. Cal's a piece of shit. Bruce Pearl and the FBI guy. Good God, I can't think of his name. Muffin Tops.
I can't. He looks like a calzone.
James is going to be pissed about this one. He's dropped Go LSU in our chat a couple times. Yeah,
he did that to us last night when we were doing the bat flip.
Yeah, so I'm glad I get to. Here's what's funny. I legitimately cannot remember his name.
LSU, Will Wade.
Oh, I wish you hadn't reminded me.
LSU, we swept LSU. What's he saying go LSU for?
I don't know, but he's here, and I legitimately couldn't remember Will Wade's name, so all I could go was Muffin Tops or FBI guy. That's all I had.
Yeah, guy that shouldn't be employed.
Exactly. By a state university? Whew. That's a look, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm glad you mentioned the bat flip. First off, before we get into baseball, guys, Landon does a show with Dylan Taylor, one of our writers as well, called The Bat Flip. All baseball, all the time. Make sure you check it out. So you guys are normally on Thursdays. Did you do Tuesday this week as a detour, or you guys, what's the deal? Tell us.
No midweek game.
Okay.
So we want to come to you as early as possible. And Dylan's finally done with school, so we want to get it out a little earlier and talk about that Kentucky series win. Tennessee, man.
They're rolling.
Six SEC series. Oh, we still going basketball?
No, we're going baseball. But before we get into Missouri, I want you to plug the show. So what nights do they need to look for you for the bat flip?
To be determined a little bit. Maybe you just follow me and I'll have it out there. But
perfect. We got your Twitter handle pulled up. So follow Lambo_Raby10
for maybe Monday. Flip. Maybe Monday.
Okay.
So we can get it out there earlier and still get that midweek game on Tuesday. Yeah. So we want to keep bringing that to you. I think it's a cool show to do, just talking about Tennessee baseball, because not a lot of people have a show strictly, focused on that. So we talk about a lot on this show, and then, that show is just kind of a little bit more in depth of going into the lineup and things like that. So yeah, go check it out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go. So maybe Mondays, but just follow in on Twitter. See when they're on. They were on last night, obviously, and I've mostly caught them on Thursday night. So make sure you know when the bat flip's coming. Let's do it. LSU. God dang it, James, you got me really dialed in now.
Swept.
Tennessee, yeah, swept 100%. Let me go grab my broom real quick. Tennessee for this weekend versus Missouri in Columbia. Tony Vitello going back to the alma mater. I gotta imagine he's gonna get ejected from at least one game this weekend. I gotta imagine because SEC baseball umps suck. He's gonna be passionate,
and I look for him. These next 2 weeks, there's gonna be a little bit of extra juice to Tony Vitello.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely this weekend against a team that he played for in Missouri, and then a team that he previously coached at, and Arkansas comes to town, will probably be the number 1 team in the country at that point. So yeah, these next 2 weekends are going to be fun to keep tabs on Tony V over there in the baseball complex.
Oh, 100%! Cannot wait. It's good. I think, dude, are we going to have to go old? Oh, you're selling your ticket. We'll talk about that later.
I have tickets too.
I'm not.
I won't be there Friday because I have a wedding, but after that, I'll be there Saturday and Sunday.
Do I have something Saturday? I do have something Saturday. Damn it! I was about to say. So the Vol Creatures aren't going to be there, and I'm a big fan of the Vol Creatures. I was going to say, do we have to? We said we'd never take our shirts off, but do we kind of have to for Saturday's game? Like, is it something we have to do?
If we're putting it on number 1 Arkansas, you best believe I'm getting rowdy.
All right. Well, in that case,
dude, come Saturday.
I am coming. It's Emily's birthday, so we're gonna have to reschedule. We're gonna have to just say, Emily, I'll be there after. Probably painted orange. I think. God, we're in a bond, man. We got to do it. Like,
Chad will be there
because they tweeted the Vol. I need to go get my God. I need to go get my tie-dye shirt out. I've got a Vol Creature shirt. Legends of Lindsey Nelson. They're not going to be there. Who's going to take their place? Because we need someone to take their place.
I got a new Tennessee baseball shirt. It's a cream with the home run on it.
That's sexy.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
I like that. There's no chance Tennessee gets to 100% for the Arkansas series, right? There's no chance.
I don't know. I just I don't know why we haven't gotten to that point. If the mask mandate is lifted, what's like I'm not trying to be political or whatever. I'm just like that's just real.
I tweeted at Randy Boyd and Danny White today and said, "Hey, open that shit up.
Yeah,
just do it. No one. Hey, listen. No one's spitting. No one's spitting in someone's mouth. Like we're good. Like just so we might be if Tennessee hits a home run. I'm not saying I'm not spitting in someone's mouth. I'm just saying
things get weird. When Evan Russell's up the bat, you best believe somebody's spitting in somebody's mouth.
But just open that shit up, man. Like we're good. Like we're fine. Just I'm not political either. I don't care. I just want to be. Yeah, just open it up.
I'm vaccinated. Let me in.
I'm not.
Just say
sorry. Oh yeah, I'll get a fake passport. I do need to get vaccinated.
Dude,
I do want to.
That, so
Did you almost die?
I got it Thursday, dude. That was the sickest I've ever been.
Your second one, right?
For a 24-hour period, I got home from the game on Thursday and I was shivering. I could barely walk inside. The next morning I woke up, I had to take Friday off because your boy wasn't making it.
Yeah.
And I laid in bed and my dog was whining. She had to go outside. And I just could not get out of bed for another hour to take her outside. I was like, dude, just pee. I'll clean it up later, but your boy can't get up.
That's what I told my employer too. I was like, I'm going to get vaxxed. I know I'm going to be sick for a day and a half, 2 days max. Just write it off. It's okay.
Just count me out for the next week.
No, I love that. But just open it up. Like, so if Tennessee gets to host a regional, though, I think they've already said it can only be at limited capacity because the NCAA sucks.
Yep. So I think it's going to be at 50%, what is 50%? Is it supposed to be at 50% right now? Because there's no way.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, like any student can get in, and they just put them out there in right field, and no one says like it's packed.
I love that. Just like I think that should do it with everybody. If you want to come to the game, we'll put you in right field and call it even. Like, show up.
Standing room only.
Exactly. Just show up. We'll do it. No
yeah.
big deal.
So
Hey,
go
go ahead. No,
go ahead.
You go ahead. I had a question.
I
about
was just
Missouri.
going to talk about Missouri.
Oh, perfect. Because I had a question about Missouri. Because I think we had a question about Missouri. So, like, realistically, what do you expect out of this? I think the question was asked. I was like, Landon's gonna have to answer that one. I don't know shit about Missouri. So, what do you expect out of this series?
So Big Orange Hypel asked, "What's Mizzou baseball look like? Sweep possible?" Question mark. I'll be honest, Missouri's not a great team.
I like the sound of that.
They're not. I mean, they're 12-29 overall, 5-16 in the SEC. They've been swept 3 times. They're coming off a sweep to Alabama. I mean, they're just and with Tony Vitello and that being his alma mater, you got to think that they're going to be ready to play. The brooms should not have dust on them after this weekend. How about that?
They should have dust on them because you just got done sweeping.
It shouldn't be from sitting dust.
Exactly. It's dust that you just cleaned up.
Exactly.
That's exciting to hear because I really want to see. I mean, obviously, you'd like to see Tennessee tied for first in the SEC East. Trying to get a leg up on Vanderbilt. Obviously, like you said, next week you're facing the number 1 team. The week after that, you travel to South Carolina. Like those two are not easy matchups. So to get a team where you can go in this weekend and realistically get 3 wins, you need to you're in the situation of legitimately you control your own destiny at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go in and get 3 wins. I don't know who Vanderbilt plays this weekend, but obviously we get 3 wins. Okay, so they could end up dropping a game. So, but I mean, even if they sweep, you're in first place if you win all 3. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Go win all 3 and you're in first place. So I think that's playing Missouri in that situation. Next weekend, if you're in the same situation, you're looking at Tennessee's not going to win all 3. So just go try to do your best to get the series win if you can. Definitely don't get swept. But this weekend, you got a chance to go win all 3. Go do it. Take care of business. You control your own destiny. Potentially leave Sunday, coming back to Tennessee, number 1 in the SEC East.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is it's hard to sweep in this conference.
Yeah.
So when you get the opportunity to do it, you got to go do it. And Tennessee has a really good opportunity to do it in Columbia this weekend on the road. A sweep on the road, that's really tough to do. But I just don't think Missouri's a very good baseball team. I think they've got some pitchers. I think their Friday night starter is pretty good, but so is ours. Chad Dallas will freaking shove it, man. Yeah. And I expect you got to go win the series first. And if sweep happens, a sweep happens. Let's win the first 2 and see what happens on Sunday. But man, I would love to get those brooms out for our Sunday night show.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm not trying to look toward Arkansas, but dude, it's going to be electric weekend.
I know it's going to be a ton of fun. I hope I know they won't be able to, but man, I hope they're able to open it up.
Yeah.
Even if it's not official, because like you said, what's the capacity at? The last 2 series, they've all of a sudden had tickets available the night of. So
right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
hopefully
I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it's going to be for the series again, or the regionals, or even super regionals. And that's another thing that Tennessee's playing for. If you want to win all the games you can in conference play right now, because you're trying to get that super regional bid.
Yeah.
And that would be huge. I don't think Tennessee's done that in. Man, I don't even think we did it in 2005. We hosted a regional in 2005, but I don't think you hosted a super. So, I mean, that's something Tennessee hasn't done in a really long time, and that would be awesome for this program to do.
Yeah, no, it would be great to have it in Knoxville, and I think you'd really see what Tennessee fans and even what Lindsey Nelson could be, because that's the thing, too, is Lindsey Nelson kind of sucks. Is that mean of me to say? I mean, it's not a stadium.
I mean, yeah, the atmosphere is great,
right?
As far as the fans go and things like that, and it's gotten a lot better. But yeah, it's just not to where you want it to be. Especially when your team is this good, you expect them to have some of the best facilities in the country, and that's just not the case.
Right. Hopefully Tennessee can get to that. And I'm not talking about at Danny White, and I'm not talking about the facilities that Randy Boyd's building. We want them on the river. Period.
Yep.
Even though it's kind of not on the river, but we'll call it on the river. That's what we want. All right, let's
Written balls in the river.
Exactly. Evan Russell might. Do we have any questions that we haven't gotten to?
So we have one from It's Cold World. He said, think Rodney Garner can get Jay Hardy to the Hill. He was his main recruiter for Auburn. Possibly. I mean, it would just be another body. He wasn't a huge factor at Auburn when he was there. But yeah, I mean, you would think Tennessee would have a leg up because you almost got him the first time around, and then his recruiter at Auburn is now at Tennessee. But yeah, I want to know more of the reason he's leaving.
Yeah.
And
to be fair, it is a completely new, like, the staff has completely changed.
I know he did have an injury his senior year. I don't know if that affected him his freshman year. But what was that noise?
I have no idea. Is it my dog or my girlfriend? I don't know. I really don't know which one.
That's awesome. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Jay Hardy. Is like,
right.
And I'm sure they're doing a lot of that because you've gotten quite a bit in the transfer portal. You probably would like to add maybe another offensive lineman or a DB or probably another linebacker.
Anyone defensively.
Yeah. Anyone. But yeah, maybe Jay Hardy fits that need. Maybe Rodney Garner is like, yeah, I want this kid here, and you go get him.
Yeah.
You recruited him once, so why not do it again?
Yeah, just roll the dice, see what happens again.
Yep.
You never know. Any other questions?
That's all we got.
James Priest said Tennessee versus LSU football 2021. That would mean the SEC championship game, which I'm going to go ahead and say no.
But maybe 2022, we will be there.
Maybe Landon disagrees. So, okay. You're already we need to go ahead and book the trip to Baton Rouge.
Calling Baton Rouge. Oh, Brandon, won't you put me on through?
Somebody live down the Baton Rouge. Yeah, no, we'll be there in 2022. But 2021, I mean, if they're playing in Atlanta against LSU, I'll be there.
Your boy gonna be there.
I mean, I'll be there. Head shaved and everything. I said if Jeremy Pruitt won the East, that bet paid off good. Landon technically still has to shave his head.
Yeah,
you said.
Yeah, but it's not my fault.
We should have just shaved your head in Nashville and called it. That's what we should have done. You should have even had an option to deny it.
Like when we lost to Vanderbilt?
Oh, yeah, because that was when we came in 6th, 7th. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have shaved my head, I would have just been even more depressed than I already was.
Exactly. You were already depressed. We should have just done it and not even let you get an escape. Not even let you get one. Stupidity is an epidemic. Before we get into that, because I don't know if this is stupid, did you see the New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals go at it at the puck drop tonight? That's electric hockey right there. That's what we want out of hockey. Just brawling. And shout out to the 2 guys. Well, 4 guys total. 2 guys from each team that were just like, hey, we're not going to fight. Like, we're not fighters. We're just going to watch and chit-chat it up. I love that.
That's what you should do.
Big into that. All right, what are your stupidities?
Brian Batko. I'm going to see what he actually does for a living. He's verified.
Nice.
So,
he's verified.
Post-Gazette. You're out for Pittsburgh, which I guess this makes a little bit more sense, but it's still stupid. He says, the more I study this draft, the more convinced I am the Steelers simply can't pass on Kyle Pitts if he falls to them at 24.
Oh, God.
Excuse me? 24? I mean, yeah, if Trevor Lawrence falls to 24, there's no way the Steelers are going to pass on that guy.
Did my man really think Kyle Pitts is going to fall? What did he end up going, 4?
4? Yeah.
24.
It's like, dude, there's like 10 people that, yeah, if they fell to 24, you got to take them. Kyle Pitts. No doubt.
Is he a draft analyst? Is that in his Twitter bio? Draft analyst?
No, it's just journalist. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette journalist. Muckrack. I don't know what muckrack is.
I don't know either. Sounds not good though.
It sounds kind of gross sexually.
I don't like it. So I'm going to call this stupidity because I hate the guy. But I don't. Have you seen this video? It's been trending on TikTok
On the
of Will Muschamp.
What's he even doing now?
No clue. But when he was the defensive coordinator at Texas, he comes into the locker room and first off, he draws 4 perfect circles. He's drawing the offensive line. I mean, just like he's a football guy because he comes in, he's just boom, 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 and then the square for the center. I mean, just money. But then he's explaining the play. No way any of the guys understood it. And he's showing them they do this, this, and this. He's like, this is where the tight end goes and the guard pulls, like whatever, blah, 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 blah. And he's explaining it. He's like, just do your job and just start slapping the board. He's like, just do your job. It's awesome. But it's also like no one there knows, like no one has a clue what you're talking about. No one. You just explained that so poorly.
It's provocative.
And that's probably why South Carolina sucked when he was there. I'm just going out on a limb. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, probably. Do your job.
Coach, we don't know what our job is. Just do your job.
I don't have any more stupidities.
I don't either. I've got 2 most important I'm excited to share.
I am too.
Sunday.
I have
excited.
one that I'm really excited. Does yours have to do with the Arizona Diamondbacks at all?
No, but that's a good story. Mine has to do with the baseball, though. Cubs. So
okay,
go Cubs, go. I do have. I don't know if this is more of a fail. So I'll say you guys have to come back Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
Well, this is how we keep them in, Landon. We just bring them back Sunday.
Brooms and all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the broom Sunday. Nice. Good call. Good call. I'll have to get mine ready.
That's all I got, man.
I don't even see it over there in the corner. That's all I got too. Guys, this week, Tennessee baseball takes on Missouri. We need to start give us some ideas for the offseason. What are we gonna do this offseason? Because we're coming up to it.
We're just gonna have to get people on here just to fill some space.
We're gonna have to get some guests. I'm thinking guests. I'm thinking some
maybe Ross Kivet, like once every month. We just
every day.
Kiv on, kicking it with Kiv.
Ooh, I like that. Is that the name of the show he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds familiar.
That was stolen. I
was like, that sounded too good to be true for ours. But yeah, no, get a bunch of guests on. I think we're gonna have to do some like movie reviews. I think maybe we should just watch Outer Banks together, like all of us. Just
hold hands.
Yeah, for sure. Dude,
drink wine, say sheesh.
Speaking of Outer Banks, because it's in North Carolina, Peanut Butter Falcon. I watched it for the first time last night.
Good movie.
That's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I enjoyed it. It was a very good movie. No free pub though, so you guys are going to pay us for that, Peanut Butter Falcon. Shia LaBeouf, you owe me. Guys, we appreciate y'all listening. It's always fun. We'll be back Sunday talking about the Vols sweep over Missouri.
Love speaking into existence already. Love it. Thanks, guys. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.